Okay, you know the drill, right? You see that stubborn patch of mold in the corner? You hit it with bleach, it vanishes, and then just a few weeks later, boom, it's back. It feels like this totally frustrating losing battle. But what if I told you that your go-to weapon, the bleach, is actually the reason you keep losing? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive into the science of why your cleaning solution might just be part of the problem.
I love this analogy because it is just perfect. Bleach makes that ugly stain disappear, right? It gives you the illusion that you fixed it, and it feels so satisfying. But just like turning off the TV doesn't actually change what's happening in the world, whitening a mold stain doesn't get rid of the actual fungus that's growing deep beneath the surface. All you've really done is hide the evidence.
This is the big question we're tackling today. And I'll tell you right now, the answer isn't that you're not cleaning hard enough. Nope. The real reason is all about the science. It comes down to what mold really is and, more importantly, what it needs to survive.
So let's jump into the first big idea here, what I'm calling the illusion of clean. See, bleach is an incredible whitening agent. That's why it's so great for your white laundry. But when it comes to mold, it's pretty much just a cosmetic fix. You're basically putting makeup on a much deeper problem without ever getting to the root cause.
This slide really breaks it down. On the left, you see what bleach is good at. It literally strips the color from the fungus, making the surface look clean. But check out the right side. This is what it doesn't do. It doesn't solve the moisture problem, and, this is crucial, it doesn't kill the mold's roots, the spores that are embedded deep inside whatever material it's growing on.
But here's the real kicker, and this is kind of wild. Not only is bleach often totally ineffective, but on certain surfaces, it can actually feed the mold. Yeah, you heard me right. The very thing you're using to clean could be setting the table for an even stronger, healthier patch of mold to come roaring back. And this table right here shows us exactly why that happens. Look, on a hard, non-porous surface, like a ceramic tile, bleach is fine. The mold is just sitting on top. But think about something like plaster or wood. They're porous, kind of like a sponge. And here's the key. Household bleach is about 90% water. The active chemical part evaporates really fast, but all that water, it just soaks deep into the material. You've essentially just delivered a giant drink of water directly to the mold's roots, helping it grow back even stronger. So just think for a second about where mold loves to hang out. Painted walls, wallpaper, wooden window frames, these are all porous materials. When you spray bleach here, you are not killing the mold. You're just bleaching the stain you can see and watering the roots that are hidden just underneath.
So if bleach isn't the solution, then what is? Well, this brings us to our next big idea. We have to identify the real culprit. To actually win the war on mold, we have to stop fighting the stain. That's just a symptom. The real enemy is the situation, the environment that's letting the mold grow in the first place.
And here it is. This is the absolute key to everything, the single driver of all mold's growth. It's not dirt, it's not darkness, it's just moisture. That's it. You take away the moisture and mold literally cannot survive. It's the fuel for the fire. End of story.
This is exactly why you can scrub a wall every single day, but if the air in that room is humid and the wall itself is cold, you're going to get condensation. And that is the perfect home for mold. So as long as those conditions exist, the mold will always come back, no matter how hard you clean.
Okay, enough about the problem, right? Let's talk about this solution. This is going to require a smarter strategy. We need to shift our mindset from endlessly cleaning the symptom to permanently curing the cause. This is how you finally break the cycle for good. It's a simple, three-step approach. But listen, the order here is absolutely critical. Step 1, before you do anything else, you have to fix the source of the moisture. Step 2, and only then do you clean it the right way. And step 3, look, for materials like plasterboard that are just too far gone, sometimes you just have to cut it out and replace it.
So what does cleaning the right way actually mean? It means physically removing the mold spores, scrubbing with a stiff brush and a non-bleach cleaner while using as little water as you possibly can. The goal is to take the mold away, not give it another drink.
All right, let's get practical. How do you put all this together into something you can actually do? Here is your action plan to take control of the situation once and for all.
Here's your checklist. First, go online and grab a cheap hygrometer. It'll tell you the real humidity level in the room. Next, boost your ventilation. Actually use those exhaust fans in your kitchen and bathroom. Third, tackle any cold spots. This could mean anything from improving insulation to just pulling your sofa a few inches away from an outside wall to let the air circulate. Only after that do you clean the area properly, and then you just keep an eye.
Okay, a quick but very, very important note on safety. When you're dealing with mold, always have good ventilation. Wear gloves and a mask. And please, for the love of all that is holy, never mix cleaning chemicals. You can create toxic gas. And look, if the mold patch is bigger than a dinner plate or it just keeps coming back no matter what you do, don't be a hero. It's time to call in a professional.
So if you take away just one single thing from all of this, let it be this golden rule right here. If you don't fix the wet, you don't fix the mold. Stop battling the stain and start managing the moisture. That is how you finally win the war and say goodbye to that frustrating cycle for good.